If so, maybe not. Okay, it's not. I was on my way back home. Is it time to get run down by a truck again? I think it is. The cries of the Higurashi accentuated the already lonely evening. More time had passed than I thought. The orange of the dusky sky was being chased down, little by little, by an indigo color approaching from the east. Exhausted from the slow climb towards Hinamizawa, without even noticing, I'd gotten off my bicycle and was pushing it uphill. I don't understand any of this. No one told me to my face that I'd done something wrong. But you knew. No, in fact, it might have been much easier on me that way. What happened yesterday really was just my curiosity. It really was no more than a quiet prank, no more than having the courage to cross a red light as long as you did it with other people. The storehouse for ritual implements, hallowed ground, only accessible to the family of the priest. For sure, I'd seen terrifying things that I'd never imagined would be there. Thinking on it now, though, it didn't matter what was stored away inside. It didn't make the wrong I'd committed any more right. What the four of us did, Neon seemed to know about. For some reason, even the police were trying to learn what the four of us did. Did we do something so bad? Really? It doesn't matter how wrong it was. I did something wrong. It was nothing more than that, and yet I couldn't accept it. I didn't apologize to Mion or Oishi-san. All I did was shield myself with ambiguities. Yeah, you probably shouldn't cross on the red light even when everybody else does. Probably shouldn't. I did something wrong yesterday. I set foot into a forbidden storehouse for a little bit of mischief. I'll forget everything I saw in there. I would never do something like that again, either. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry! If I apologize like that, would they forgive me? The suddenly cool evening air left no room for such sentiment, however, as it mercilessly chilled my feet, urging me to head home as soon as possible. In the end, the evening air was correct. If I trudged along such an isolated road, regrets would pile up on top of regrets, but nothing would change. Let's go home. I'll go home to my room, put on my favorite music or something, and go to bed. That might sound plain and boring, but it's probably the strongest I've felt all day. Now that I've made the decision, there's no point in dawdling in a place like this. I pushed hard on the pedals. I rapidly advanced forward. I steadily gained speed. The wind was cutting and mercilessly cold, but it actually felt good, as if it were softly punishing me. Don't forget about your phone call! I didn't eat much dinner before excusing myself early and returning to my bedroom. Mom called me from downstairs.
Keiichi? 電話よ。
There it is!
園崎さんから。
Sonozaki? Was it Mion? You obviously forgot already, didn't you? No, it was Shion. I just remembered. She said something she wanted to tell me today. Oishi-san interrupted us, so she didn't get the chance. Shion had said she'd call tonight.
もしもし、シオンか。
どうも。今日は災難でしたね。
She said it so plainly I got a bit annoyed. She was the one who left me there and ran.
そんなこと言わないでください。私、ケイちゃんに一緒に逃げようってサインを送ったじゃないですか。
Not really.
なのにケイちゃん、ボサーっと残っちゃって。
ボサってことはないだろう。シオンがあっという間に置いてきぼりにしたんで、あの後俺は大石のおっさんにたっぷり付き合わされたんだぜ。
そんなの私に愚痴られても困ります。
I can't believe she passed it off like that. She looks just like Mion, and yet inside she's this different? I got a little irritated myself when I realized I was, somewhere in my mind, hoping for the same reaction I would get from Mion, even though she's a different person.
ああ、悪かったよ。次からはシオンを置いてくぐらいのつもりで、真っ先。
できればレディーファーストでお願いします。
My hand twitched. Shion laughed refreshingly. When I heard her voice, I realized she wasn't really that angry or anything. It was just as she said. The cause of my temper was because it was my own fault for not leaving immediately. I'll stop blaming it on others. Blaming it on others would
それより
be...
俺に何か話があるんだろ。
はい。もしもう知ってるなら改めて言うような話じゃないんです。知ってますか？
Kinda hard to tell. Shion lowered her voice suddenly as if she were glancing around. I had no idea what I could already know.
悪いけど、何のことかさっぱりわからないぞ。ヒントくらい出せ。
ってことは知らないみたいですね。
She seemed to take my stupid-sounding question as evidence. However, her voice didn't sound disappointed or exasperated in the slightest.
実は昨日の綿流しのお祭りの晩なんですけど。
My entire body jolted as I was assailed by a terrible feeling. Is Shion going to ask the same thing? Even though she was freaking there?
もしもし？ケイちゃん、聞いてます？
ああ。聞いてる。昨日の晩どうしたんだよ。
私たち4人入ったじゃないですか。
She didn't beat around the bush. Whether or not I wanted to admit it, that was the actual honest truth, and I couldn't act like it hadn't happened.
それでその後みんなで歩いて石段のあたりで私たちみんな別れましたよね。高野さんたちは沢に行ってケイちゃんはその場に残って、私は親類の人たちのところに行っちゃって。
ああ。それがどうした？
お互い質問の返し合いになっちゃうと拉致が開かないんで、私からまず質問します。いいですか？
ゆうべ富武さんと高野さんに会いませんでしたか？だろ？
え？
What? I gave you food earlier. What? What's the matter? Loud kitty. What's the matter?
はい。あの後、あの二人には会いましたか？
Can you move your tail? Thank you. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't surprised. This is the third time I've been asked this question today. Why? Why? What the hell was going on?
どうしてだよ。だからどうしてそれを俺に聞くんだよ。
ほらほら、ケイちゃん。質問は私からのはずです。答えてください。
シオンはあったのか？シオンが先に答えたら俺も答える。
What? You've been fed. You have been fed. My shabby response betrayed how scared and small I felt now, after everything that had happened today. Shion didn't say anything for a few moments. Just as I was beginning to think I'd really put my foot in my mouth with that response, she finally answered me.
もちろん、会ってません。一緒にいた親類が証明できます。
俺だって会ってない。証明って言うなら、ミオンとかレナとかみんながしてくれる。
Now that we knew our answers matched, she let out a sigh that sounded more relieved than anything else. Thanks for that, Cat. It wasn't time for the you died.
直に答えてくれてありがとう。じゃあ言いますね。ゆうべ高野さんと富武さんが死んだんだそうです。
What a surprise. I am so shocked. How could this have happened?
ごめんシオン、今なんて言った？
ゆうべ高野さんと富武さんが死んだんだそうです。高野さんは焼死体で
Burned to death?
富武さんは自殺みたいな感じで
Burned to death. Well, we found her this time at least.
今朝知ったんです。お父さんが親類の人からの電話で話してるのを聞いて。
Late last night. A police car on its way back from festival security duty had discovered Tomotaki-san lying in the middle of the road, heading towards Okonomiya. Nice violin screech there. He'd clawed out his own throat and died.
なんだよ、喉をかきむしっての自殺って。あの明るそうな富武さんが自殺？何かの間違いだろ。
And you're next, Keiichi.
警察がちゃんと検視したんです。自分の爪でガリガリと喉をかきむしって血管を破いて血をドバドバ出して自分の血で溺れ死んだんだって。
そんなバカな自殺聞いたことないぞ。自分の喉をかき破るなんておかしすぎる。
I realized I was yelling too loudly, so I lowered the force I was putting into my voice. I didn't want my parents to hear me, so I switched to the cordless phone and ran up to my own room.
大声出してごめん。で、高野さんも自殺なのか？
高野さんは自殺かどうかちょっと。
Burned to death. That would be an interesting suicide. Takano-san's body was found in the mountains of Gifu Prefecture. Employees at a rest stop nearby reported to police late last night that they could see flames in the mountains. The firefighters dispatched there were the first ones to find her. An autopsy concluded that it was the burned corpse of a half-naked female. They initially considered the body beyond recognition, but directly after, there was a request for dental comparison from the XX Prefecture Police Station in Okonomiya, and the results concluded that it was Mio Takano. The cause of death wasn't confirmed, but it was highly likely to have been a homicide since she was in her undergarments, and her clothes were nowhere in the area.
灯油缶が転がってたそうなんで、焼身自殺の線もあるそうです。
Yeah, somehow I doubt that.
自殺なわけあるものか。同じ死ぬならもっと楽な方法がいくらでもあるだろう。
Like tearing out your own throat.
こんなの絶対に自殺なものか。
私だってそう思ってます。富武さんのだって自殺だなんて考えられない。
After the two of us rattled on at each other, there was a silence as we paused to catch our breaths. And as we calmed our nerves, right then I understood what Shion's story actually meant.
お社様のたたりってことになると思います。私たちたたられるのに十分な資格がありますから。
This is true.
資格って冗談じゃないぞ。別に俺は。
Shion wanted to see it with me. I just went along with her. Oh god, I'm dead. I tried to say that, but I fell silent. Nothing would come of me blaming others. It didn't matter how much everyone else encouraged me. I could have put my foot down. I lost my own half-assed sense of adventure and agreed to go in with them. Yeah, it was my fault, and no one else's.
シオン、お前は昨べ細工殿の中に忍び込んだらこうなるかもしれないと予想はついてたのか？
まさか。 や、多少はヤバいとは思いましたけど、こんなことになるなんて夢にも思いませんでした。
Shion's words were probably her true feelings. She knew she could get in trouble if we were caught, but that was the thrill of this little adventure. It was the same for me.
それよりもケイちゃん、ちょっとよく考えてください。今年のお社様のたたりはおかしくないですか
？It was already plenty strange seeing his Tomotaki-san and Takano-san died like that. Given all that, what could possibly be stranger?
死体が2つ見つかったってことです。言いましたよね。例年は1人が死んで1人が消えるんです。2人の死亡が確認されたのは今年が初めてです。
確かにそうかもしれないけど、そんなのは大した問題じゃないだろう。
いいえ、ケイちゃん、もっと真剣に考えてください。いいですか？2人の死がお社様のたたりということになってるなら、お社様の怒りを鎮めるための生贄もまた2人分必要なはずなんです。
そういう理屈になるのか？じゃあなんだよ。富武さんと高野さんが死んだ陰で今年は2人が行方不明になってるってのか？
Boy, are you slow. I don't understand why, but when I said that, I felt my spine freeze.
まだ誰も行方不明になってないと思います。多分2人が失踪するのはこれからじゃないかと思うんです。
Shion, like me, was obviously getting the same feeling crawling down her back.
これから2人が失踪する。
Shion didn't answer. I couldn't say any more than that either. A chill crept in through my clothes and tried to wrap into a fist around my heart, cold hands feeling about on my chest. Neither of us could say anything. Tomotaki-san opened the lock and he died. Takano-san exposed the ritual storehouse and she died. If 2 more people were to be sacrificed, then they would be none other than the ones who entered with them. None other than us.
まさか冗談だろ。
I wanted so much for her to pass this off as a joke, even now. That, though, was such an incredibly difficult and selfish request. If Tomotaki-san and Takano-san had died in a common way, like a car accident, I could tell myself it was coincidence. Instead, he clawed out his own throat, and she burned to death, drowned in oil, in the mountains. The 2 deaths were so out of the ordinary that I couldn't possibly dismiss it as mere coincidence. It was as if, in exchange for sneaking into the ritual storehouse, there must be someone punishing us, some sort of cruel will working behind the scenes. Even so, I still didn't want to accept that terrifying truth. If I did, then I would have to acknowledge that a horrible crisis was growing near for Shion and I. That's why I argued against it. I argued, knowing I was running away.
大地、そんなの新聞に出てないぞ。そんなに奇怪な事件なら絶対に新聞やテレビで報道するはずだろう。雑誌記者とかだって面白がって大勢来るに決まってる。
マスコミに報道されないのは当然なんです。過去にそうだったから。
When the incidents occurred for a 3rd year in a row, there were some third-rate magazines that sniffed out the story and ran issues full of gossip columns about Hinamizawa. Fearing that the region would develop a negative stigma, they negotiated with the prefecture and the police. Since last year, it became a big conspiracy, where no information about the incidents was allowed to be leaked to the media.
村長とか、あと園崎家出身の金バッジが警察に思いっきり圧力をかけたんだって聞いてます。
じゃあつまり2人の死は 秘密裏に処理されてしまったということか。
そういうことです。もちろん警察は捜査をしてますよ。でも秘匿捜査ということなので、捜査活動にはかなりの制限が加えられているそうです。これは事実上の捜査妨害と言えるでしょうね。
This story was unbelievable. People died, and yet they don't publicize it and deal with everything in secret.
もっと噛み砕いて言うと、渡流しの夜に誰が死んでも公にはならないということです。
そんなバカな話があってたまるか。
ケイちゃん、私以前にお社様のたたりは村人が起こしてるかもしれないって言いましたよね。つまりそういうことなんです。このひなみ沢では毎年渡流しの夜にお社様のたたりということにして誰かを殺してもいい土壌がいつの間にか作り上げられているんです。
When someone dies on the night of Watanagashi, it turns into the curse of Yashiro-sama. The curse turns into serial murder incidents. In order to avoid exacerbating the negative stigma surrounding Hinamizawa, these incidents are dealt with in secret.
バカな。毎年死者と行方不明者が出るんだろう。いくらマイナスイメージって言ったって警察にも限度があるだろう。
毎年の事件が不可解って言うなら警察も本腰を入れられるんでしょうけど、何しろ毎年の事件は個別に解決してますので連続事件という形にならないんですよ。たまたま毎年渡流しの晩に不幸なことが起こる、それだけのことに。
Most of the criminals responsible for the original dismemberment were arrested. The last one managed to get and stay away, but the events were totally exposed and elucidated, so it was, in essence, resolved. The damn supporting couple who died in an accident on the second year, that was an accidental death, plain and simple. They made a lot of investigations into the possibility of it having been a homicide, but didn't turn up anything. It ended up as an accident. It was resolved. On the third year, the priest fell ill and passed away. There were doctors present at the hospital at his deathbed, and they all had trustworthy medical certificates. They even did an autopsy. It concluded that it wasn't a homicide. That was resolved, too. On the fourth year, the sister-in-law of the damned supporting couple was murdered. The criminal was an abnormal man with a history of regular psychostimulant usage. He confessed that he thought Oyashiro-sama's curse was so interesting that he wanted to try it out. The criminal died of an accident while in prison, so this incident was essentially resolved as well. That's right. None of the incidents had any relation to another, and each was independently resolved.
なのになぜか毎年渡流しの晩に不幸な偶然が起こる。連続事件にしたくても連続にならないんです。それでも毎年必ず誰かが死んで誰かが消えていく。
The story Takano-san told me on the day before during the setup. Now that the curse had really occurred this year, I couldn't just laugh it off.
じゃあ俺たちも狙われるっていうのか。毎年一人死ぬと一人が消えるように富武さんや高野さんの道連れに消えさせられるっていうのかよ。
My lips at some point had become completely dry, and just saying that was difficult. Shion didn't respond. Her silence, however, was the clearest form of confirmation she could give me.
俺たちそりゃ確かに入っちゃいけないところだったかもしれないが見ただけだぜ。何かを盗んだり持ち出したり見たことを誰かに喋ったわけじゃないんだぜ。
I was already regretting having committed such a wrong. Even so, was it really so bad that Tomitaki-san and Takano-san deserved such cruel deaths?
第一、俺はあんなの見ても全然面白くなかったし、 高野さんが見て一人で大喜びしてただけだろ。悪いのは高野さんだけだよ。俺は全然関係ないぜ。
You keep telling yourself that.
興味もないし関係ないし、あの中にあったものだって知ったことじゃない。
But you know, Keiichi, you were naughty, Keiichi. I knew saying so wouldn't solve anything. I could feel myself, my cold self in the most innermost depths of my heart, disgusted at my pointless howling. However, my emotions had broken through the dam, and I couldn't stop them anymore.
俺はもともと興味なんか全然なかったんだ。リカちゃんの演舞を見ていたかっただけなんだ。それをシオンが勝手に連れ出したんじゃないか。あの二人が泥棒しようが何しようが知ったことじゃない。
Yep, if he was really interested, he could have walked right away and right back to watch Rika's performance. But he didn't.
そうだよ。そもそもシオンが中に入ろうって言い出したんだ。ケイちゃんは見ておく必要があるとかなんとか思わせぶりなことを言って中に引き込んだんだ。どうしてくれるんだよ。俺は全然関係ないんだぞ。どうすんだよ。どうすんだよ。どうやって責任を取ってくれるんだよ。おい、聞いてる。
Click. Without any warning, the phone cut off with the soft sound of a receiver being slammed down. That's not a soft sound. Shion was just as terrified as I was. I just said some really self-centered things. My riled-up emotions disappeared as if they'd never existed, and in their place surged waves of deep regret at having run my mouth so irresponsibly. I could try to call out Shion's name from beyond the disconnected phone, but it was too late. What have I done? Shion was only trying to tell me as much as she could about this thing about to descend upon us. As for me, I could only whine like a child about it. I went to call her back, but then remembered she lived in Okonomiya. I didn't know her phone number. Since I declared to Mion that I hadn't seen Shion last night, I couldn't just call Mion and ask for Shion's phone number. I was too scared. I couldn't even call her back. I was stricken with hopeless regret. I returned the receiver to its stand, and I simply prayed that Shion would call me back again. Please, Shion, calm down and call me again.
もしもし、前原です。
I swept up the receiver as though it wouldn't go through if I didn't grab it at that exact moment.
前原さんのお宅でしょうか。夜分遅くに失礼いたします。
You're not Shion. But you are literate.
君吉と申します。
Who?
ご主人様でいらっしゃいますか。
It was the voice of a girl who clearly wasn't Shion. All my hopes rushed out of me.
いえ、違いますけど、親父に用なら呼んできます。
I went to put the receiver back down, but the man stopped me hurt. Man?
あ、いえいえ、お忙しければ結構なんです。
The man's... I think we got a few pronouns mixed there.
実は恐縮なんですが、うちのおじいちゃんがお邪魔してませんでしょうか。
Your old man.
いえ、誰も来てませんけど。
そうですか。夜分遅くに申し訳ありませんでした。失礼いたします。
I don't know who that was, but if what Shion tried to call what if Shion tried to call while I was walking away from him? I thought, bubbling with egotistic anger. Hey, wait. Give it a break, Keiichi Maebara. These are the selfish emotions that made Shion mad at me, aren't they? Yes, tell everything about the state of the house at the moment to random phone calls. The more I thought about it, though, the more I thought that Shion had given up hope in the short time since we had our conversation and didn't want to call anyone. Calm yourself, Keiichi Maebara. If Shion does call again, then first, apologize in a calm voice. If you do that, then Shion would understand. However, No matter how long I waited, the phone didn't ring again that night. Ooh, boy. Ah, good. More scrapbook from dead people. Close calls, huh? The significance of Watanagashi. Watanagashi, a festival of hunting for sacrifices and feasting on them. While the festival itself is remarkable, it has come to be considered a form of entertainment as well. Perhaps it was because of the disparity between being both an egregious act and a form of entertainment that the perpetrators began to believe themselves transcendent. However, I found some very interesting literature that appears to raise questions about that explanation. As with most oral traditions, it's not easily swallowed, but does mention a few things that spark my interest. According to this literature, even the residents of Watanagashi village felt fear towards this ritual. Women and children would grow pale and tremble, and those of weak constitution would vomit, but it said that the feast was an obligatory viewing. This is an extremely curious tale. Until now, I thought that the residents of Watanagashi village were fascinated by the Watanagashi ritual. They looked down on those vulgar, barbaric humans, cut them open like fish, and by eating them, they all reaffirmed their unholiness. At least, that's what I thought. However, if what the villagers gained from this ritual was not fascination, but fear, then that would suggest the ritual meant something entirely different. There's the possibility that the executions were meant as warnings, encouraging the villagers to strictly follow religious precepts created by those with power for their own convenience. Watanagashi village is effectively ruled over by three old families called the Three Families. Without investigating the three families, I probably won't get any closer to the truth of Watanagashi village. What? Why do you tear at my door? I don't know. Why you tear at my door? I'm asking you. The Three Families. The Three Families refers to the three old families who effectively came to rule Watanagashi village. To break it down, there was the Kimiyoshi family, the Furude family, and the Sonozaki family, and each of them still exists today. Though they don't have as much control as they did in the remote past, they still hold considerable influence today. The three families are considered by legend to be those in whom the blood of the swamp demons runs the thickest. The Kimiyoshi family. The Kimiyoshi family appears to have held great power as the head of the three families, but it doesn't have that kind of leadership today. The current mayor of the village, Yoshichiro Komiyoshi, is from this family. The fact that members of the Kimiyoshi family are elected as mayor every generation is thought to be a remnant of the old system. Yeah, someone named Kimiyoshi did just call us. This is true. Of course, as no rival candidates appear, it doesn't change the fact that the Kimiyoshi family holds the mayoral office, even through popular elections in the post-war era. The Furude family. The center of the village's face since ancient times, the Furude clan has guarded the sole shrine dedicated to Oyashiro-sama. They were worshipped as the only people to represent the voice of Oyashiro-sama for a long time, but the family branched off after the war and lost most of its power. It now consists only of the main house. The main house, as well, presently consists of only one daughter, so the lineage may end in this generation. There's apparently an old tradition of honoring females of the Furude family, so the only daughter, Rika, is the subject of much respect among the elderly of the village. The Sonozaki family. It is said that this family had a certain police-like role of protecting the religious precepts of Watanagashi village. Of the three families, a relatively weak position can be seen from me putting them here last. Of course, today, the Sonozaki family is flourishing, and the state of affairs among the three families has completely reversed. Even now, one could say that they are in control of Hinamizawa. The three families conferring with each other is similar to the old way. The current head of the Sonozaki family, Oryu, essentially decides all the goings-on in the village by herself.
夜分遅くに失礼いたします。君吉と申しますが、ご主人でいらっしゃいますか？はい。いえいえ、その説は本当にありがとうございます。それでですね、こんな時間に大変恐縮なのですが、うちのおじいちゃんがお邪魔してないかと思いまして。ですよね。はい。こんな時間に申し訳ありませんでした。それでは失礼いたします。ごめんください。
どうだい？ダメ？
参ったな。どんなに熱中しても電話くらいはしてくれる人なんだけれどな。
囲碁の人の家は全部電話したんでしょ？
はい、君吉です。
園崎です。どうです？村長さんは見つかりましたか？
Oh, the mayor.
ああ、ミオンちゃんか。片っ端から電話をかけてみたけど。
Why do you sound so old?
見つからないんだ。参ったな。どこで油を売ってるのかな。
こっちでも心当たりにいろいろと問い合わせましたけど、全然。バッチャにも相談したんですが、青年団を招集して探し回った方がいいだろうということです。
こんな時間にかい。それに別に行方不明になったと決まったわけでもないし。
渡流しの直後ですから、少し慎重に扱った方がいいとのことです。それでも見つからないなら、明朝警察に通報しましょう。見つかる見つからないは別にして、痛くない腹を探られない方がいいでしょうから。
おりょうさんがそう言ったのかい？
はい。直接声を聞かないと信用できないなら、電話先に出させますよ。
いえ、わかりました。青年団を集めて探しましょう。それで見つからなければ翌朝に警察に通報します。
青年団の連絡もよろしくお願いしますね。私もバッチャの代行ということでそちらに参ります。
ありがとう。すぐにみんなを集めます。
では。
So the mayor went missing. The mayor went missing. Interesting. Yeah, that's kind of my thought. The mayor is one of two to be demoned away. Maybe Keiichi will be safe. Maybe Shion will get demoned away and he won't have any more bad influences on his life. Maybe he'll be safe then. But in any event, this marks the end of another stream. I've got to go grocery shopping tonight, as I seem to do every Saturday, because the rest of the week didn't leave me with any time. Yeah, 50-50 chance to just get murdered. Yeah, anyway. I will, again, if you didn't see the notice in the Discord, I am not going to be streaming tomorrow. I have no plans to. If things wrap up early enough, I will be, but more than likely it's going to take me all day to get the recording I need to do done. because I'm slow that way. And I have to record things I am featured in for Chrono Trigger the musical. I also have to record an introductory thing and this thing and that thing and all things around. So, you know, fun like that. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to end it here. I will be back next Saturday, definitely, for more of this. And I still don't know what I'm going to do next Sunday. After I decided I had to record this weekend, I did not put much thought into it. I will look down my list and see what might be interesting to stream. Yeah. So anyway, take care, guys. I will see you all next week. For now, though, I gotta go get ready to leave the house. Regular pants for me now. Yeah. I like my sweats. They're comfy and easy to wear. Anyway, take care, everyone. I will see you back again later. As always, music will be happening soon. Not that one, though. Let's jump. There we go. Later, everybody.